first bout on tonight's card with trainer Johnny Dunas all the way from Dandenong. It's Anthony Nastas. A good evening to you, Master Hammer. What a fantastic night. I tell you what, this place is chock-a-block, Hammer. You couldn't get another person in here if you had a shoehorn.
Yes, good evening, Michael, and Crown Casino, what a lovely venue it is. Absolutely sensational. Super promoter Tarek Solak has done another fantastic job, and I'm just overcome by emotion with all this great atmosphere, great fights coming up. Grab your seats.
Trainer Paul Ferrari and cornerman Leroy, it's Murat Mehmet. Hammer Murat Mehmet stepping up for his debut contest here tonight.
Well, what a baptism of fire for Mehmet. I'll tell you what, Tarek Solak, one of his many hats, is training this young boy, so it'll be interesting to see what type of a first-timer Tarek has produced here.
Ladies and gentlemen in attendance, welcome to the beautiful showroom of the Crown Casino in Melbourne, Victoria. And wherever you're watching around Australia, you're on Fox Sports. We begin the night with a welterweight contest to be governed under USA rules over 3 2-minute rounds. Introducing in the blue corner, he hails from the John Dunas Gym in Dandenong, Victoria. Make welcome Anthony Nastas. From the red corner, hailing from the Tarek Solak Braveheart Academy, Murat Mehmet. Your referee, Mr. Dave Hitchcock.
I ask for a break. I want a good clean break. If there's a knockdown, you must go to the furthest neutral corner. Okay, listen to what I say. We won't have any problems. Take your hands out for it.
All is in readiness for our first bout of the night. Centre referee Dave, the living legend Hedgecock, giving last-minute instructions. It'll be Anthony Nastas out of the blue corner against Murat Mehmet making his debut out of the red corner. Brought to you, of course, by super promoter Tarek Solak. Our first of 6 fights featuring on tonight's sensational card, of course, the main event, the one that everybody is waiting for, the world title fight between Prince Amir and Daniel Dawson. And we're underway in fight number 1. It's Murat Mehmet lining up the high left round kick to the head. Well, Mehmet opening up like a house on fire. The high left round kick to the head from Mehmet. He has exploded out of his corner. Couple of left round kicks to the ribs there from Anthony Nastas. Big overhand right there from Nastas, came close but no cigar. Launches the high right round kick. Well, Hammer, this one has started at an absolute crackerjack pace.
I'll tell you what, Michael, full bore all the way from these boys.
Nastas actually taunting him, saying, "Come on, Mehmet, give me all that you've got." Just pokes out the front kick to the sternum. And just hitting up the referee Dave Hitchcock called break there.
Well, Murat Mehmet, questionable tactics there on the break.
Murat Mehmet has come out all guns blazing. A straight right through the guard there of Nastas, just forcing him against the ropes with a flurry of punches. And only a slip since referee Dave Hitchcock. Whipping right round kick to the ribs, missed the target from Nastas. Just a probing left hand, ducks under the left hook. Slobbering right hand over in the red corner and a round kick to the ribs there from Anthony Nastas. Mehmet just drives him back into the red corner.
Well, it's interesting to see, Michael, that the pace and the flurry of which these relative inexperienced fighters will open up as opposed to the experienced boys on the last or the main event. They'll start very slowly, they'll have a good look at each other, and these boys, as their experience tells and as they progress in their fighting, will start to slow a lot slower, I'm telling you.
They have opened up like a couple of steam trains. 1 minute 45 down in the first round. We're scheduled for 3-by-2. Probing left hand there by Nastas. Didn't find the mark. They tie up over against the ropes. There's the end of the first round, Hammer. How did you see that one?
Well, Murat Mehmet certainly started well, and it was actually Anthony Nastas who was hitting on the break there. But Murat started very well and just got a little bit tired towards the second half of that first round. and that's when Anthony came good. He's got a lot of reach, Anthony Nastas, so he really has to use that a lot more to try and negate the charging of Mehmet. Here we see Mehmet just pulling his way forward, absolutely punching from the hip, and sort of a bit of a slip there from Anthony Nastas. But nevertheless, a fairly even first round, I'd say, with neither fighter really taking a strong advantage or landing any good, clean scoring technique. They're just too intent on trying to get in there and rip each other's heads off, Michael.
5 seconds down.
We are ready to rock and roll in the second round of action. Time, please. Anthony Nastas out of the blue corner. The debutant Murat Mehmet out of the red corner. The living legend Dave Hedgecock gets us underway here in the second round of action. Big overhand right again by Nastas, just catching him on the top of the cranium. Murat Mehmet just charging him across the ring.
Well, once again, both fighters just going at it 110%. They've got to relax a little bit more. Exactly what Anthony was doing just there. Just step back, use your footwork a little bit more. There's a slip there from Nastas.
Well, a lot of nerves to overcome here for both these men, two very novice fighters. Mehmet, of course, in his debut fight, as we mentioned. Nastas only has a couple of fights under his belt. Already 45 seconds down here in the second round, Hammer.
I couldn't think of a harder way to make your debut than on such a sort of premium card. You know, there's a lot of nerves, a lot of pressure, a big crowd on hand. And sometimes that can really throw your technique and your thinking out. You know, you're just so intent on trying to do well. As a novice fighter, you know, you really want to make a good impression. Friends and family here to watch.
Well, that's
the boys are caught in the ropes.
Right in front of our commentary position, Hammer. Anthony Nastas actually being tucked through the ropes there by Murat. And just a crackerjack bout so far, neither man holding back. Launching that left round kick. Loving right hook, just careered past the head of Anthony Nastas. Nice 1-2 combination with the jaw there from Mehmet.
Nastas certainly has a better poise. He's got the reach, but he's just not aggressive enough. He's just letting Mehmet come on him a little too much. He's got to use his front kick off his front leg a little bit more rather than throwing that round kick. Once again, he loses his footing, but he should be popping that front leg off the lead leg rather, and the jab, good stiff jab will keep Mehmet away.
Beautiful right hand to the side of the jaw there from Murat Mehmet. Caught him sweetly into the final seconds of this round. Straight left through the guard, straight right through the guard by Mehmet. Nice combination it was. No doubt those boxing skills honed by Paul Ferrari. Champion boxing trainer. There's the end of the second, Hammer.
Well, Mehmet now getting a little tired. Well, both boys actually getting a bit tired. They've started at such a fast pace and such a furious pace that, you know, for them to have a consistent area of technique is going to be very hard.
Don't worry about kicking him now. Do you understand? Do you understand? Don't worry about kicking. Just use your hands, jab off, left, right, left, right. Do you understand? Don't let him make you go first. When he comes to you, push him off with a front kick, then straighten him up with your hands. Okay? He's countering off you. Do you understand what you're doing?
Grab him behind the neck again, I'll take the point off.
Yeah, no worries.
There we see Mehmet once again just charging forward. As we heard in the corner there, John Dunas, Nastas' trainer, was saying just pop that front kick, you know, keep him away. He's countering, he's getting low, he's grabbing on, and Mehmet is really making Anthony Nastas in the black shorts, is really making him have a hard fight here, just a hard physical fight.
We're underway in the third and final round of action. Nastas opening up there with a nice left hand.
Watch the head.
Nastas just dancing back. There's that rib-cracking round kick off the left leg by Murat, and another. Inside leg kick a little bit too high. Just caught Murat south of the border there, Hammer.
Yeah, a little bit...
Point off this fighter. Point off this fighter. Time out, doctor, please.
Well, there's a point off.
Going to be a point deduction there off Anthony Nastas. How do you see that one, Mark?
Well, I think he should have been given a warning, to be honest with you. I don't think it was intentional. I think he was going for that inside thigh kick. And referee Dave Hedgecock is going to rule with an ironclad fist here tonight, I can tell you. But Nastas certainly, as I said, I feel it was unintentional. He was going for the inside thigh. But Murat Mehmet, there on the floor with the red shorts on, was certainly landed some nice round kicks to the ribs of Nastas, and he was doing quite well until he got slowed down there with that unintentional groin kick.
We have a look at it again. That one hurts me just looking at it, Emma.
Yeah, just mistimed. Well, he was going for the inside thigh. There's no doubt about that. But a little bit too eager, and that's the problem with being so eager with these novice fighters. You know, they really bang each other up. They're kicking at knees, they're kicking at elbows, and they're probably doing more harm to themselves than anything by trying to be over-aggressive. You know, you really have to stand back, and a thinking fighter is always going to prevail at the end of the day. A thinking fighter will always beat aggression, Michael.
Well, a round of applause from the audience as Mehmet Murat makes his way back to his feet. They'll just spray that mouth guard and insert it back in the kisser, and we'll be underway again here in the third and final round. Mehmet Murat has really been all guns blazing here in a sensational debut. As Mark said, under great duress, not easy to fight on the most hot show in the country at the moment. Of course, another Super Tarak Solak promotion.
Certainly, if the judges are going to pay aggression, you'd have to say that Mehmet is taking this bout.
Big right hand there from Mehmet, caught him on the side of the head. Nastas didn't like that one.
Nastas really needs to knock Mehmet out now if he's going to win this bout, especially after having that point off.
Just slams that round kick to the ribs again, Murat Mehmet. Nastas chasing him across the ring. Clubbing body shot. Wild uppercut from Mehmet and a wild right hook. Nastas, a little bit of fancy footwork, just moving backwards. Mehmet lines him up to that whipping left round kick. Swung with the left hook. Just slid past the brow of Anthony Nastas. A couple of left hands couldn't find their way through the guard there for Nastas. Nice round kick to the midsection. Overhand right missed the target from Nastas. Mehmet could be in a bit of trouble here. Well, Nastas is swinging wildly, Hammer, but he's not connecting.
Well, Nastas knows he needs to take Mehmet out in this round if he's going to win this fight. So he's really going for it.
Well, referee Dave Hedgecock certainly had the wild one control here first up on the night. Right hand just finding the target on the kisser there of Anthony Nastas. A lot of tying up here in the third and final round. Both men's energy sapped. They've traded toe-to-toe for the entire fight. There it is, the end of the third and final round. Hammer, this one's gone down to the judges.
Well, as I said, Michael, fast and furious was the order of the day. But I'd have to say Nastas, that point off will just about cost him the fight, I feel, Michael. Here we see Nastas going forward. Mehmet just covers, keeps those gloves nice and high, and Nastas, his aim was just a little wayward. Mehmet throws the jab and just slips off there. It's pretty slippery, the canvas at this early stage. They might be well advised to spray it down with a little bit of water just to give the fighters a little bit more footing. But here comes Nastas. As I said, he knew he had to take the fight in the last round, and Mehmet had pretty good defence. Checked a couple of those heavy kicks, kept his hands nice and high when it counted, and for my money, I'd have to say that Mehmet might just have got it by a short half head, Michael.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous points victor from the red corner, Murat Mehmet.
Well, that's 1-1 for the Hammer. This victory going the way of Murat Mehmet.